I know your low T numbers, too.
And now, let's go inside the
Do you know your
wandering
numbers?
mind of
Do
a
you know your
coach-killing,
numbers?
I know your
knee-jerking,
sleep number.
nuclear overreactor named Ben
What is it?
Rogers.
45.
A.K.A.
Nope.
the
41.
Jerry Whisperer.
Nope.
It's time for...
I'm a 45.
Now trending
man.
Seriously.
in Ben.
Thought I knew it.
Yes, time for Now Trending in Ben. Now, this Sunday is Father's Day.
Is it?
And, yeah. Are you guys going to do anything for your dads?
Damn. I probably need to get on the stick then.
Yeah?
Get some beer, some whiskey, go grill out.
Just
What do you
go
mean?
grill out.
You're going to get your dad some whiskey
Yeah.
and beer?
Yeah.
And
And grill out.
You're going to grill out for him?
Yeah.
think he wants you working the grill?
Maybe not. I don't know.
They let him do it?
Actually, he taught me I'm not as bad as it would seem. I'm horrible in the kitchen, though. I'm not going to act like I'm
Yeah.
not.
Well, most men are better around the grill than we are in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I always go home for Father's Day to Olney, go see my dad, watch the U.S. Open on Sunday, of course. And I do him the honor of drinking all his whiskey and letting him cook delicious meats on the mill while I hang out in the pool.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
he cooks delicious meats on the grill, not on the mill. On the grill while I hang out in the pool.
He delivers delicious meats to you while you relax in the pool.
Yeah.
He's just there to serve you meats.
Yeah.
Well, I can promise you this. While the way you paint that picture is that it's you taking advantage and being out there and living the good life, I'm telling you, he loves every second of it.
It's quite a sacrifice I'm making to go drink his whiskey.
Well, I'll tell you what, he loves you drinking his whiskey, and he loves you eating those delicious meats
Actually,
and
he
hanging
thinks
out there
I've got
pool.
an alcohol problem.
But he
Ben?
loves you having your alcohol problem at his house.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because I
Then
can
You drive home.
I can tell you this, because as a dad, I have 3. I mean, I can't even imagine what life's like once my kids grow up and they move out. My oldest is 12, but it's going to gut me. I mean, it's going to destroy me to have the kids leave and to one day be an empty nester. I mean, I'll be miserable.
Yeah, but you're going to get some more alone time, you know?
Yeah, but I'm
You know
going to
what
be
I'm
all,
talking about?
I'm going to
You
be
know how
all,
much Fortnite you'll get to play?
I'm going to be all shriveled up. I don't know if I'll be playing Fortnite at 80, but,
You'll be getting some of that good and loving, though.
I want to nursing home loving. I want to
Heard
share.
That's the best kind.
I've told this story before, and I want to share it with you guys because I want to tip my cap to the great Bill Rogers today. My dad is an awesome man, and he's no longer with us. And so the reason I want to talk about my dad on Father's Day is I've always liked the type of radio where you pull back the curtain and you just share everything, share the whole life. And I've told this story time and time again over the years. I'll just tell a short version here because what I want to say to you guys, KT and Shippy and any listener out there who's not a dad yet and has a dad that you still spend time with and your dad's still with us, man, make the most of every minute and go spend that time. It means so much to dads. And then even those of you who have your own kids and you are a dad now, but your dad's still with us, you know, nothing is more important than family. Nothing. And so this was, February of 2005. Skin and I are doing the Mavs post-game show on another station. And I get a text or a call. I don't remember at the time. It must have been a phone call.
Probably a call, yeah.
Probably-
2005?
Probably a page. But yeah.
A beeper?
A carrier pigeon was delivered to me.
Paul Revere
yeah.
came into with a
Someone
horse.
rode up on horse with lantern and said, "Yonder, ye, before ye enjoy the Maverick game of basketball." I don't know why we couldn't talk. But anyways, but I was going to do the Mavs game and do a Mavs post-game show. And I got a call that Dad was in the hospital. And we were like, whoa, what is this? And, you know, my mom at the time, sweetheart, she was just like trying to be as, hey, we don't know if it's a big deal, but you're going to want to come down here. And I was like, should I still do the Mavs post-game? They're like, I don't know. Yeah, you can do the show. Go ahead and do the show.
Your choice.
And I was like, wait a second. Skin, here's what I'm dealing with. What should I do? And he goes, no, I got the show. You go down there.
Man, that's the life version of voluntary workouts.
Right?
It's kind of like, yeah, you know, you pretty much have to be there.
Yeah, and they didn't want me to be too worried, and I don't know if they really fully knew everything at that point, but
Yeah, do the show if you want to, though.
I went ahead and went to the hospital, and I went to the hospital, and I got there, and it turns out that my dad had thought he had the flu, and so he had gone to one of those doc-in-the-box Primacare type little places, and he'd gone in and said, yeah, I think I have the flu, and they said, whoa, you're jaundiced, which means you're turning yellow. You have a yellowish. So he goes to the hospital, and they start running tests, and they're like, Actually, in short order, it turns out that he had pancreatic cancer. Now, pancreatic cancer is a mother effer. Oh, my God. I'll never forget talking to the doctor. And, I'm in the hallway with my brothers, and we're talking to the doctor, and Skin may have even been there. Oh, you know what's funny about this? This is how close I am to Skin. Skin and I have known each other since we were 12, and Skin is one of those guys that if you're going through a hardship, you don't have to wonder if he'll be there for you. That dude is there. He was at the hospital as much as I was. And so Skin was actually in my dad's room. I was on my way there, or I'd gone to get something to eat for everybody and coming back, and he was waiting in my dad's room. And the doctor showed up with some diagnosis or something, and Skin was like, no, don't tell me. Let me get the family back here. So that's really cool of Skin. That's how often he was there. So anyways, this doctor has given us, when he tells us it's pancreatic cancer, it was almost like, all right, man, good luck, guys. I'll be down the hall with somebody I can actually save, but have at it. Good luck. I mean, it was just totally, and I guess they have to be desensitized because they give bad news all the time. But our reaction was, what? No. Wait, no. Who's the best in the world? Get the best pancreatic expert in the world. What exactly is pancreatic cancer? What is the pancreas? We were like trying to figure out what the hell was going on and why this doctor was like, it's basically saying, I'm sorry, you've already lost the game. But we find out what a nasty cancer it was.
And again, back then, you can't just whip out your phone and pull it up and get a couple quick details off WebMD. Like, you really need a description.
Yeah.
You have a pamphlet you could give me?
So we start doing the due diligence, and we find, oh, my God. Yeah, he's drawn a horrible hand here. You can't beat this. And so we're like, well, we're looking at all these alternative medicines and fruit and all these different things. And at the end of the day, we're like, man, he's got pancreatic cancer. He's probably not going to make it. It's terminal. And so he died 28 days after diagnosis. 28 days. And I'll never forget that night. I went to the night that I didn't do the Mavs postgame show. And the way it worked is not everybody would stay at the hospital every night because there wasn't room, right? There's like one chair that you turn into a chair bed. So we'd alternate nights who was there. And I remember the first night I stayed there, and me and my dad watched Apocalypse Now. And he was fully functional and talking and everything. He wasn't, and it was just, we sat there and watched that movie. And it's so weird. I wanted to ask a million questions or talk about a million different things, but what do? We've just had this thing land on us that something's really, really wrong. And so anyways, in short order, it was over. And because we were alternating nights at the hospital, we would, I would stay there, then my other brother would, then my other brother would, and we'd alternate nights. And when he finally passed away, it was just me by myself with him. And he passed away at like 6 a.m. And he was on hospice, and it was 28 days later. And, I remember he started making this like gargling noise. They call it the death rattle. And so I'm sitting there with my dad, and he's not breathing right. And I'm like, oh, my God, nurse, we need, I'm running out in the hall. I'm like, nurse. And they were like, we understand. This is how it goes. And we'll be in there momentarily. But they're not rushing in there because he's already gone. He's on hospice. You know that he's passing away. You don't rush in to save someone's life when they're about to pass. Yeah. And so, it's just he passed away with me holding his hand. And then my family got there later, and, they hugged me. And I tell this story. This is my favorite thing anyone's ever said to me. My younger brother, I'm bawling, I'm crying. And, I've just gone through my dad passing away with me being there with him. Only me. And, they're devastated because we lost Dad. But they're also worried about me. And my brother got there. I'm crying. And my younger brother, Jonathan, says the only thing to me that could get me to stop crying, because we'd been alternating nights on whose night it was to spend the night with Dad, he's giving me a hug, and he whispers in my ear, never would have happened on my watch.
God, that's such a good line from him, who is a top 3 Rogers brother for me.
Right. He's definitely in the top 3.
It's definitely probably top 3 Rogers.
Yeah, ever.
There's Grace and Kat.
Yeah. No, right up there. Yeah, agreed. He's up there.
No, but your little brother's a good dude. I love that guy.
Thank you. Yeah, he's a great guy, and it's one of those things where you had to be there to know, and you have to know the relationship and know that we used humor. My dad was a really funny guy, but I just wanted to say this: if for all of you who are thinking that Father's Day is just another Hallmark holiday. I just want to say, man, I wish I could trade with you because I wish my dad was still here. And I'm glad I had every moment that I did with my dad. But I'm not saying that to say feel sorry for me. I'm saying because I had a great relationship with my dad and a great life. And everything I have in my life is possible because of my dad. And my mom and our whole family. But I say that to say really soak it up. Enjoy the time with your dad. You know, it's Father's Day. It's going to mean so much to him that you reach out, that you spend time. And as men, especially our dads, they don't always know how to communicate emotions. They're not good at that. You know, they're not like.
That's one thing we have as men, and I'm not a father, but as men, I get it. My dad never communicated emotion that way. I think as men, we all struggle with that.
Yeah. And they were worse than us. We get better over time, and we're still terrible. But the point is, they can't always communicate their emotions. And they're so worried about you screwing up your life because they know how close they were to screwing up theirs. And I can tell you that from being a dad now. I'm like, oh, my God. I can go back to like 15 times where I could have either died or gone to jail. And I'm like, I'm raising kids that are going to be doing the same thing. I hope they make the right decision. It's just, life is fragile. It's paper thin. And so anyways, my dad, I just wanted to kind of raise a glass to him. He was born in Roswell, New Mexico, went to the Roswell Military Institute, and he and my mom came from really nothing. My mom paid for him to go to college. He goes to college, becomes an accountant, and goes to work for Arthur Andersen in downtown Dallas, does really well. And then ended up going to work for Trammell Crow, got into real estate, and he built an empire once, lost everything, savings and loans crashed, and then rebuilt. He went from commercial real estate to residential real estate and rebuilt everything. And I'm just really proud of him, man. And dude, so I'm the black sheep. He was an accountant by the book, Military Institute. I'm like artistic brained, creative. I'm dropping out of college to be a rapper. Both of my brothers, master's degrees, incredibly successful. I'm making a rap album that failed.
Trying to do radio.
But yeah, and hey, Dad, I'm going to go into radio. But
radio's got a weird way of not being the most noble of professions.
Yes. But he supported me. And I think it's probably because my sweet mom was always in his ear telling him to support me. But he supported me in all my creative endeavors. And even though it really wasn't something he understood or believed in, I can remember he and some of his friends, God bless you guys if you're listening, they invested in Mind and Skin's rap group. I mean, it's just really cool.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just really cool. So I just want to tip my cap to the great Bill Rogers. May you rest in peace. I'm grateful for everything you taught me. I wish I would have listened to every single thing you told me way sooner. Way sooner. I don't know I don't know why we think that our dads don't know anything. It's different now, old man. Things have changed. Y'all don't know anything. I've seen you mow the lawn in black socks. You're disqualified to give me advice on life. But the reality is that our dads love us so incredibly much, and they're trying to impart wisdom so we don't have to fall in every bear trap along the way that they saw on our path. But we all end up stepping in every single bear trap along the way, and we realize later, oh my God, they were incredibly wise.
Do you think he'd like watching this Ranger team like as much as they strike out?
No. He didn't like watching Pudge Rodriguez. I remember him saying, this guy is never going to be anything. He swings at crap. I'm like, Dad, he's hitting 348 with 57 homers, and he's thrown out every runner in the last 7 years that's tried to steal on him. I think he's pretty good.
You think he'd like Gallo's approach?
Oh, my God. No. And my favorite Bill story is we were big-time Mavs fans. We had Mavs season tickets growing up in the rafters. And I came home and, to visit him one time or to come over to the house, see Mom and Dad. I wasn't living there anymore. And I was like, oh, Dad, you're not watching the Mavs game? He said, son, let me tell you something. If the Mavericks were playing on our back porch right now, I wouldn't get up and look through the blinds. I was like, oh, my God, why? Because of the officiating. He fell out. He hated the officiating in the NBA.
That's just a bad Mavs team.
No, he just hated officiating.
There were some rough years.
He got frustrated. He didn't know what a foul was, what wasn't a foul, and the officials determined the game. But anyways, everybody, I don't say this to be a sad story. I say this to be inspirational. It was 2005. It's been a long time, but I miss my dad, and I'm grateful for every moment I had. And now as a dad, I'm grateful for all those moments as a dad. So get out there this Father's Day. Don't be in a rush to leave. Don't, just savor every single second of it because it's going to mean a lot to you. I promise you it means a lot to him. And one day, hopefully, your kids will follow suit and want to spend that time with you as well. All right, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.